If this comic had a soul and died, then a book that is this bad would go straight to hell. Hello to all of my friends out there in YouTube land. It's your good buddy Philtastic Phil here, and welcome back to my channel. So if you watch my Saturday morning show, Last Week Tonight Live, then you know I announced I'm going to be doing a new video series called Philtastic Reviews. That's what this is here. Where rather than do a quick review of a book like I do on Saturday mornings, a book that I've read, of course, I'm going to give you more of an in-depth view and discussion of that book. Now, I'm going to tell you that these aren't necessarily big books or key books or anything. This is just something picked randomly, either by me or my beautiful bride, every week that you'll see me here talk about. I should also note, look, this is my opinion only. My opinion may differ than yours, and guess what? That's perfectly fine. Agree with me? Great. Disagree? Also great. It's fine. Now, rather than rating it on like a numeric scale or just saying thumbs up or thumbs down or something, I've kind of devised my own review system that hopefully will make it a little bit easier for you to understand where I'm coming from. If the book I read is great, then I've put it into the category of must read. These are those epic stories that maybe even people who don't even read comics might crack open and appreciate. If it's, let's say, good but not quite as great, you know, these are maybe if you're following a particular character, artist or writer, or just checking in for an interesting storyline, then it's a good read. The books that are maybe not quite good and not quite terrible, books that are kind of like, hey, I'm just kind of completing a run, they're going to fall under the meh category. And finally, if, in my opinion, the book is terrible, just almost unreadable, unenjoyable, if this comic had a soul and died, then a book that is this bad would go straight to hell. And that category is simply put as burn after reading. So that's my grading scale. Again, this is the first episode. It's a work in progress. Let me know, of course, in the comments below how you like it, or what do you think of my grading scale. So the book I'm reviewing today is Amazing Spider-Man issue number 39 of the current volume. This is the Hellfire Gala variant, made by cover art by Betsy Cola. I'm going to address this, by the way, right now. You probably have noticed I'm wearing gloves. These are not my hands. My hands are not ashen black. And that is because I've noticed that with these Hellfire Gala variants, I don't know if it's because the back of it is black. The black of it is back. Okay, yeah. I don't know if it's because the back of it is black. If you follow me and my channel regularly, and if not, maybe this is the perfect time to hit that subscribe button. You might have seen on my community tab that when I went to go read Amazing Spider-Man 30, the book right before this, my thumb was purple afterwards. Now, my hands weren't greasy or sweaty, and the book was dry to the touch. It's just that Marvel paper. Now, I'm reviewing the book. I'm not reviewing the paper. I just felt the need to explain this in advance. I should also note that I am not currently collecting Amazing Spider-Man at all. I haven't read Amazing Spider-Man regularly, or Amazing Spider-Man regular, I should say, since the Dan Slott run. I keep up to date, though, with the Amazing Spider-Man titles with the help of fellow YouTuber Brian LCS. If you don't know Brian, go ahead and check out his stuff. Great stuff. Great live show on Saturdays. But let's go ahead and get into it. So the interior art, I'll address this right now, is by Ed McGuinness. I'll be honest with you. I am not a fan of Mr. McGuinness whatsoever. I thought he worked well in the Superman Batman Public Enemies run. After that, it's just not my jam. It's just a little too square-jawed and cartoony for my liking. I remember, I think it was during the Hulk run that he was on, and that was the Red Hulk storyline with Jeff Loeb that really kind of got to me, where I was like, I don't like this. But if you like Ed McGuinness, that's fine. I will say this: I don't think it necessarily detracts from the book, but it doesn't help it, if that makes sense. Case in point, I really do not like McGinnis's design for Dr. Octopus. I feel like he made him look a little bit too much like a chipmunk. I do like the effect of his goggles basically kind of squinting when he's angry. And I'll show this, of course, up on the screen. Overall, the art's not a home run for me, nor is it a strikeout. I'll say that. And I am realizing, by the way, too, I'm picking this up mid-story. So maybe some things didn't make sense to me. Again, this is just my opinion, and my opinion alone. I do appreciate story-wise how the writer, Zeb Wells, which I've heard great things about Zeb Wells. I've heard terrible things about this run. Again, just it's your opinion. Just I guess you could say buyer beware. I do like how he's made it a point in saying, hey, Norman Osborn has had so much of the Green Goblin serum built up into him that he's just, it's like nothing. You know, it's like an alcoholic drinking a light beer. You might as well be giving him a Kool-Aid. During the prior issue of this storyline, Spider-Man had taken Dr. Octopus's old tentacles and joined them, basically to go ahead and go up against Dr. Octopus, and actually took the time to give them a new paint job too. That doesn't bother me too much, although I have to say the webbing coming out of the tentacles, kind of cheesy in my opinion. I could be wrong. I don't remember any other part in the story where it really helped him. Dr. Octopus has new tentacles which look like individual kind of living slimy things that can form together and also separate. I don't see how these are an upgrade. Maybe I missed it. One aspect about this issue I really liked, they are setting up for the return of the Superior Spider-Man. So the tentacles kind of remember Peter for that, and Peter starts to take on some of the traits of Dr. Octopus, namingly so at one point calling him adult, which of course that's something only Otto and older people, I guess, use as an insult. I'll say this. I know that he just got those tentacles in the issue before this, but I thought the transition to I'm going to start acting a little bit more like Octavius was a little too fast for my liking. I would have liked if maybe there were maybe a smaller hint of it, or maybe it wasn't until the end that you saw a little bit about this coming on. But I understand he gets rid of these tentacles at the end anyway. I should note, by the way, spoilers in case you hadn't guessed it. Oh, before I continue, if you know, you know, and if not, you need to check out Last Week Today live Saturday mornings at 11, or watch the replay. I won't tell anybody. I'll put a link around here for you. Towards the end of this fight, you can see Otto's kind of mindset is taking over Peter, and namely so, Spider-Man is choking out choking out Otto with one of the tentacles. And that's supposed to be okay. It's again, Otto or Dr. Octopus taking over a little bit too much. And of course, Norman Osborn kind of calms him down, and Peter separates from the tentacles once again. One other small little thing about Ed McGuinness's art. I think his Spider-Man looks too much like it's anime inspired. I've never seen Ed McGuinness's artwork and thought, hey, this is something from an anime. Nor am I a big anime fan, so I might be just totally off base, I'll be honest with you. But it looks like too much of a deviation, I guess. And I know that I just said, look, everybody looks the same, but this is just a little too much, in my opinion. What I don't really like, and I understand that they're trying to do a 2-page kind of epilogue, if you will, to tie everything together. It doesn't really flow great, nor does the entire issue, to be honest with you. But it kind of touches on recent events such as Ms. Marvel dying. I guess this is before she came back to life miraculously. And Norman and Peter overlooking the city and reflecting on how great of a person that she was, and everybody should be more like her. Felt a little cheesy in my opinion. So overall, my rating of this book, for me, it's a meh. You know, if you have been following this run of Amazing Spider-Man, or if you're just, you know, filling in a hole in your collection, you could do worse. You know, it's not terrible, though it does little, at least in my opinion, to bolster Spider-Man and to bolster the character, or really tell a story that I think is particularly compelling. Again, this is the tail end of whatever storyline, however many issues that this thing was. But as a casual Spider-Man reader, it's not for me. You could spend your money otherwise. Well, with that, this was my first Philtastic review. Let me know in the comments how you liked it. Thumbs up, thumbs down. Okay, how about just thumbs up? I hope to do more of these weekly. And I encourage you to check out Last Week Tonight Live. Again, my weekly show, 11 a.m. Easterns, every Saturday. Or, of course, catch the replay. I'll just throw this out here one more time. And with that, peace, love, and comics. Take care, everybody.